Hey friend, Mikkel here, and I want to say thank you again for taking a moment to download my Mindful Journaling for Grief ebook. Believe it or not, you did that 7 days ago. Yes, 1 week ago. And I'm curious, how are things going for you? In the ebook, I provided an opportunity to think about mindful journaling for 7 days. And so I'd love to hear how it's going. Remember that you can reply to this email and simply share what the process has been like for you. Now, I want to point something out. You may have snagged that freebie, and 7 days in, you may be thinking, oh my goodness, I still haven't begun the process. I still haven't started to put pen to paper. And first of all, don't be worried. This is 100% normal, right? I want to name that talking about grief, thinking about grief, writing about grief is not easy at all. And I want to sort of do this by sharing a little bit of an analogy. So, in my early 20s, no judgment zone, I would start to receive bills, right? I had my first credit card and I was so excited. But what I didn't have was the money always to pay for the credit card. And I didn't want my parents to know I was even using a credit card. So when the monthly bill would come, I would just stuff that little envelope in the drawer and think, all right, back to using the credit card. I'm just not going to think about that. Well, you already know how this story goes. Month after month, the bills started going up and the calls started coming in as I was avoiding paying it all together. Well, thankfully, I realized I needed to actually open up the drawer and pay the bill. So I use a silly analogy because that's sometimes what we try to do with grief is sort of put it in the drawer, stuff it away so that we don't have to deal with it. However, the consequences of doing that can be so great. And I remember when my mom first died, I didn't want to be part of the grief club, but the consequences of not addressing grief head on for me were physical aches and pains, more irritability, and just isolating myself from people. So, here's one of the reasons that people sometimes avoid writing altogether: fear of the unknown, right? You may be thinking 7 days in, well, I don't want to put pen to paper because I don't know what thoughts are going to come to mind. Am I going to be able to handle the emotions that rise to the surface? And I get that. At the same time, I want you to think about what the consequences are for not addressing your grief. That is the entire reason that I created the Mindful Journaling for Grief ebook. So today, yes, today, take a moment, even if it's 30 seconds or a minute or 5 minutes, and jot down some thoughts, jot down some feelings, jot down a memory, jot down what may be a barrier to you writing. Whatever it is, there's no right or wrong. I just want you to get started, my friend, because I know the power of writing as we grieve. And the most important thing is you are worth it. So, from one grieving heart to another, get back into that mindful journaling ebook or open it up and start today. You're worth it.